Hi and welcome to Qlik Fix. This video will demonstrate how to use the ODBC Connector Package log analyzer to help troubleshoot ODBC connection related issues. First, it's helpful to increase the verbosity level of the logs generated. Find and edit the ODBC Connector Package configuration file found here. In this file, there is a setting called logging level. By default, this is set to info. To gain more detailed information for troubleshooting, change this to all. Also, be sure that the setting log SQL statements is set to true. Save and close this config file. First, in the script editor of the app, config section, you will need to load the ODBC package logs. Update the data file connection path to where you've stored the ODBC connector log package. In this example, it was saved to the C drive under this path. Once the connection is created, reload the app with this new data. On the first sheet, the top half has filters and KPIs and overviews, while the lower section and second sheet have more details. The first filter shows the connector package version, applications associated with the ODBC connectors, the logging level, host name, and the start and end timestamps of the logs currently loaded, date and user ID filters. This KPI object shows the count of errors and warnings. In this case, there were 11 errors and 24 warnings in the logs. These two charts display the connector activity by day and time. This KPI shows the largest query load size and the max reload time for a single query. High numbers like these can be red flags that are worth investigating. The data source usage pivot table shows a number of connections, apps, and size, all by data source. On the left, you see the number of apps and number of command pipes. A command pipe is a unique identifier generated because of connector activity. For example, creating a new connection, data preview, or data reloads. Each command pipe can have multiple requests, each with their own ID. To demonstrate, each of these SQL statements listed here have their own request ID, and each command pipe contains multiple requests. This can be used to drill into the connector messages used by the connector. This center table will provide additional details about the database and connection strings, like versions. For additional details on those database connections, on the second sheet, those connection strings are broken down by each property, making them easier to read and compare. There is also the advanced parameter chart. There could be additional properties on the connection highlighted here. Also, the error analysis chart, highlighting all error messages in the logs. So selecting a pipe with an error and then focus in on the process details, that could be one method for analysis. Additionally, there's also the table field details chart, that if you select a specific pipe, makes it easier to see the different requests in that pipe, and even some details on those SQL statements and field details. As a troubleshooting example, to investigate the largest SQL query that took almost 5 hours here, you could begin with the overview of reloads, sort by time to find that specific query, select the pipe. In the connector process details, examine the process by sorting by timestamp, scrolling down. There is a large gap in time, and it finally wrote an error message. It says here that a huge amount of data was transferred, which probably overwhelmed the server. It would be more stable to change this to an incremental load to avoid such large amounts of data in a single query. This app helps analyze the log files so you can quickly focus in on the connector activity and see the details involved. I hope this app helps you with your ODBC connector log analysis. Thanks for watching.
Nailed it.